Hello and welcome to the first official video on the Own Accord YouTube channel by me, the co-host of the podcast, Tyler West. Now today we're going to be going over why the Orioles' rise to success this year is really not that surprising. It has a lot to do with who they're drafting. They're tanking to get better draft picks, and they've had 6 years of essentially perfect drafts. Now what you're watching here is the moment Delman Young doubles in all 3 runners to give the Orioles the lead. This was by far, in recent history, the highest point of Baltimore fans going to the games. This place was electric to take the lead. But after this season, everything went wrong. Now the reason why this is so important is because that team after 2015 fell apart. They lost everyone, from Wieters to Markakis to Hardy. Nothing could go right for this team. But in 2015, they made amazing draft picks with the likes of Ryan Mountcastle, who currently on the team is hitting unstoppable. Ryan McKenna, who took a while to develop, but now he is hitting the ball like no other. Man that has carried the Orioles for the last about 3 years. It is Cedric Mullins. As you can see right here, he just made an unbelievable play on this ball against the Mets. He has been a staple of this team for a very long time, and he will be for a very long time to come. Let's move on to 2016 draft class. They added a very good bullpen arm who is still there now, Keegan Aiken, and currently the best hitter on that team, in my personal opinion, Austin Hayes. Now, Austin Hayes has been a star for this team. He's been a stud. He's a young guy who can hit bombs. As I just mentioned, 2015 and 2016 were both great years of drafting for the Baltimore Orioles. But in 2017, they drafted 2 players who are also great. D.L. Hall and Mike Baumann, both stud bullpen arms who are up in the majors right now. In 2018, they did something similar by drafting a starter who is currently in the minors. He's been struggling a little bit in Grayson Rodriguez, but oh my God, in 2019, did they lose their minds drafting maybe the best top 3 draft class in years. The first pick in 2019 was, of course, maybe the best pure catcher in the game right now, Adley Rutschman. He took a couple of years to come up to the majors, but man, when he came up, did he make a splash. You see here his first hit with a triple. The team has been hitting unbelievable. They're a 100-win team since he came up. He is a leader in that clubhouse, and he is playing out of his mind every game. The next player they drafted that year, who, by the way, this home run went 464 feet and was the longest to hit Utah Street. Started off slow this year, but man, oh man, is he on fire. The man, Gunnar Henderson. 2 great draft picks in 2 consecutive rounds. The next draft pick we're talking about in 2019 is Kyle Stowers. Now, he's been up and down in the majors and the minors. Hasn't had as much success as Adley and Gunnar, but I think he'll pull it through. He's a stud in the outfield. He can make a bunch of plays. He can hit pretty well. Here we go. This is an outfield highlight right here. He can hit pretty well. I'm confident he can become part of that power 3 for the Orioles. Now we move on to 2020, where they drafted Heston Kjerstad, who is already in AAA, first hit with a homer, and Jordan Westberg, who is raking in the minors. Both of them should be up soon, and they will make that team so much better. The next player I want to talk about in 2021 is Colton Cowser. Now, he is one of MLB's, I believe, top 40 prospects. He's hitting very well in the minors, and he's another player, when he comes up, will make this team much better. Now, bear with me. I will go into the details of each player once I tell you all of the great draft picks. And finally, I think everyone knows who this is. Jackson Holliday, the number 1 pick in 2022, who is raking in the minors. It doesn't seem like anyone can strike him out or even get him off the bases. He looks like he's going to be the next generational talent. Going into the 2016 season, the Baltimore Orioles were 89-73 to end the season. In 2017, they were 75-87, so they were not at all terrible, but they were below 500. And then everything went crashing down in 2018 when they went 47-115, and the team hit its darkest days. In 2019, it wasn't much better. The team going 54-108, and it didn't seem like the light was coming anytime soon. In 2020, of course, shortened season, they went 25-35, In 2021, they went 52 and 110, and really, it was bleak days in Baltimore. Those games weren't fun. Nobody was there. The team just couldn't seem to put together a good season, but everyone knew the prospects were there, and one day, this team would be great. In 2022, Adley Rutschman gets called up, and this team shows signs of life, going 83 and 79, but even better, playing well over 500 after Adley Rutschman joins the team. In 2022, the Orioles called up the number one prospect in baseball, a catcher who was compared to the likes of Buster Posey, Joe Mauer, Adley Rutschman. Coming into the majors, the Orioles were 16 and 24, and it looked like they were repeating the last 4 seasons in a row. But Adley changed that. Among catchers, he ranked second in doubles with 22, 8th in runs scored with 40, 7th in wins above replacement with 2.1, 5th in walks with 35, and the Orioles finished that season going 83 and 79. They missed the playoffs, unfortunately, but this year they've come in with a passion. The next player I'd like to talk about is Gunnar Henderson, who, after having a very slow start to his 2023 year, he's hitting unstoppable. He's batting .400 in the last 3 weeks with 5 home runs. He has 10 on the year, and he's batting .246 on the year, which is an amazing change from when he was batting about .120 for the first month or two of the year. The hottest prospect in baseball has found his swing, and he will be killing pitchers for a long time to come. Helping Adley and Gunnar along the way, they have Cedric Mullins, who is batting a whopping 263, Austin Hayes, who is batting .303 with 7 home runs, Ryan Mountcastle, who is batting .227 with 11 home runs. See, now the team's hitting great, but with every good team, you have to have your good pitchers and especially a good bullpen. This year, the Orioles have maybe the best 1-2 punch in baseball, with Ynier Cano as a setup man who had a 1.06 ERA and went the whole months of April without giving up a single hit or a single run. And then you have the Mountain coming in next, Felix Bautista, who has a disgusting splitter which has ridiculous vertical movement and a fastball that goes 102. They're both unhittable. When it comes to the Orioles taking a lead, if they have a 2-run lead or a 7-run lead, it's usually safe with the amount of bullpen arms that can keep them in games. Orioles fans, as I end this video, or other fans that are watching, I give you this. This Orioles team is dynamic. The talent they have coming up is unbelievable. It's the best farm system in baseball. The bullpen's unhittable. The starting pitchers are pretty damn good. Thank you so much for watching the Own Accord YouTube channel, and please consider liking and dropping a subscribe. Thank you so much.